The Ghost and Molly McGee is back with yet another episode centering on the Jewish religion, and as a Jewish YouTuber who loves this show, I feel like it is my time yet again to look over the representation. Last time the show did something with Judaism, it was revolving around Libby's bat mitzvah, and you can check my full review on it in the card above. And now with Hanukkah being over, actually. Okay, look, I wanted to get this video out on time, but life has been rough and I was busy, okay? It's kind of a miracle I'm even able to type this script. And now record it, and later edit. You get the drill, let's just move on. First of all, I do want to start by saying that Hanukkah specials aren't as plentiful as Christmas ones, so it's always nice seeing someone take a shot at it. We have some fun ones like Lamb Chop's Hanukkah special, which features Mr. McGee being a superhero, that's freaking awesome. And then we have... yeah, you know what? No, I refuse to believe this exists. Well, I'm glad to report that this Hanukkah special is fitting much more with the charming former, while being leagues above the abysmal later. How come, you ask? Well, for starters, the plot of the episode actually bases itself on the story behind Hanukkah, and uses it as the base for a very heartwarming and sweet conclusion. To the not-Jewish in the audience, the story of Hanukkah revolves around the Maccabees, the sons of the priest Matityahu, who fought against the evil Greek tyrant Antiochus, who destroyed the Second Temple in Jerusalem in an attempt to banish Judaism. Oh, how he failed! However, during their fight with the Greek, the Maccabees still wanted to light the 8 candles of the menorah, 9 if you include the shamash. They were only able to find enough oil which would have lasted them 1 night, but a miracle soon followed, and the menorah stayed lit for 8 whole nights. The miracle, which is the theme of Hanukkah, comes from this story, and is the reason why you light those candles during the holiday and why it's called the Festival of Lights. The episode kind of adapts this story into modern times, while paying homage to the original by having Libby tell parts of it throughout. Molly, her family, and Scratch of course, come to visit Libby's mother's library to celebrate Hanukkah with them, but in an ironic twist, there's a city-wide blackout which forces the busting out of a generator, which makes the library the only lit-up place in town. Quickly, the library is being filled with a bunch of people looking for light and a regular dose of hot chocolate and human interactions, for as long as the generator keeps going. Despite Libby's mother claiming that the generator would only last an hour, it manages to hold on for 8 hours before shutting off, and shortly after, the traditional Hanukkah miracle happens and the lights come back to the city. Everyone returns home, grateful for Libby and her mother for the good time and letting them in during the blackout. The analogies are pretty clear, I'd say. 8 nights, 8 hours, a pot of oil, a generator, both last through just enough in order to get the characters through a rough situation, despite believing that it won't, and it's being dubbed a miracle. Sounds like a pretty decent modern-day adaptation of the Maccabee story, if you ask me. This story is exactly what I could have asked for. It's loyal to the original story, it has plenty of culture, which I'll get to in a minute, it gets the spirit of the holiday while also not shoving it into the viewer's face. I'd seriously call it the best American Hanukkah special had the pleasure of watching. I guess now it's the time to bring up the culture presented in this episode, and boy is there plenty. All the traditional Hanukkah foods are here and accounted for. Sufganiyot, latkes, the chocolate gold coins, you name them, they're here. It was nice to see a dreidel being used as a fun toy for once, and not as a competitive sport with animal spirits living inside it. Man, Japan is weird, and I think I just realized why I'm not into much anime anymore. I don't recall ever playing a game with it regarding which letter it will land on, but I guess it's just something that Libby and her mother do. The Hebrew letters on it are correct though, Nun, Gimel, Hey, and Pei. Kinda wish they would have explained that they're standing for Nes Gadol Hayapo, which means a great miracle happened here, but it's still nice to have a dreidel included. The spelling contest was actually kind of funny, since you can spell Hanukkah in so many ways in English that it can actually get a bit confusing. Again, personally, never saw anyone do the whole writing miracles which happened to us that year in a note and then reading them out loud and trying to guess who wrote that thing, but it was a fun scene regardless. Also, Libby's mother saying every year that Libby is her miracle is the sweetest thing ever, not to mention Scratch admitting that living with the McGee's is like having a home. That's a pretty wholesome character development in a Hanukkah episode. I really like this, not gonna lie. Libby telling the story of Hanukkah to the people who came to the library honestly gives me chills. And same goes for the story of Libby's ancestors being hunted for years due to their religion, and yet never letting go of it by taking their menorah with them wherever they go and keeping it with them for generations. This backstory parallels Antiochus' prejudice against the Jews in the story of Hanukkah, to the same hatred the Jewish people have faced ever since. And yet, despite all the rough times and the cursed anti-Semitics which is sadly still around, the Jewish people are here to stay, and this holiday symbols the light which guides us all through those dark times, and showing the world that we are not going anywhere. Times can get dark, but we will always have our light. Many people have voiced their displeasure with people saying Hanukkah as a Jewish Christmas, and granted, I agree with it, because it's not a correct comparison. Just because both happen at the same time doesn't make them the same. And honestly, I feel like this episode right here, despite being paired with a Christmas special, truly got what Hanukkah is about. One of the prayers we carry to God while lighting the menorah candles in Hanukkah is thanking Him for allowing us to reach this point in time. All the people present in lighting those candles, thanking Him for the miracle of living through everything which is going on in this very messy world. I also feel like this episode isn't just about Hanukkah, it's about being Jewish in general. Years may pass, some things go away, some things change, and the circumstances aren't always the best. But nothing can change our history, and nothing is going to stop us from celebrating our roots and our beliefs. We are here to banish the darkness, for we have our festival of lights, which will never die down. Thank you, the Ghost and Molly McGee, for celebrating Hanukkah with us and showing people what Hanukkah is really about, and how wonderful it is to be Jewish. By the way, sufganiyot are freaking disgusting, and I'll never understand why people love them so much. I never get why it's even a tradition. This dough is awful. There, hot take out of the way. Happy holidays to everyone, and to my Jewish friends, happy belated Hanukkah, and don't forget, never lose your light.